My boy is ready, hot and
Yeah,
ready, like a little Caesars.
I was just gonna say like a Little Caesars pizza-based product.
Is that the only thing that's kept Little Caesars alive? Do you think the
Yeah, yeah,
hot and
hundred
ready?
percent. Trying to be as inflation-proof as possible, but there is 100% a societal demand for that because pizza prices for mom and pop shops have blasted through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
It it has
Well,
become
I guess that
fiscally
begs the question.
irresponsible to buy pizza these days. Like you might
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well go out to dinner instead of buying pizza. Let's have Domino's and Little
yeah. I mean, it
Caesars,
is like
whatever
I
they're
do
serving.
treat it that way now, because like even there's good frozen pizza now. There was this really good one called Lots of Matza. And I don't know if it was ever existed anywhere else, but my buddy Brett and I loved it, and it just disappeared. But it was like the perfect amount of like it was so good, almost as probably one of the best I've ever had. Obviously, like the Barstool thing, they do that one slice. I think he does like a frozen pizza version of it. Am I wrong? Or does he?
He did during
Did he ever do
COVID
that?
because that was
If he
that was
didn't,
kind
we
of the
need to do
demand.
that.
Yeah, because he did Wegmans.
Okay,
Someone sent him a Wegmans pizza, and he actually rated it extremely well in the world of frozen pizzas. Not for
really?
you.
Okay. Um, I forgot. I was thinking about like. Well, here's the thing. I am applying for a new job at Wegmans, so everything we do is great and awesome, and it's the best. Our values are perfect. Our pizza's perfect. Um, I don't eat the pizza.
So
Listen,
episode
okay, hear me
episode
out.
68, we have a situation to address as far as a Nicolas Cage based situation to confirm. However, we're
Yeah,
going to
we
have to
do.
get a little bit more into the know as to the job application process. And I'd be happy to share some stuff that I've gone through as far as job internal and external
Yes.
applications. So that's that's an opener. That's an opener
I
what we
say we
just did.
go all internal. Allinternal.com. Ah! I'm not even gonna try to fix it. I'm
Nope.
not even gonna fix it.
That's the beginning of the show.
We know how the audio works. This audio bullshit will never be solved. Ever.
It's so good.
Ever.
Flawless execution every time. Mute issues and whatever you showed me. I still don't
Man.
really understand it, but yeah, something about muting and then it should be on
Yeah.
mute, but it doesn't mute. Yeah, technical producer
Yeah.
stuff. I don't want to go into it. It's all techie stuff for our fans. Like I get it, you get it, but we don't need to get into it. So yeah.
Speaking of internal, I don't know why it made me think of that was like a real hot or not hot. It was a very hilarious porn niche. Like it probably still is. But I remember some guy in college that was like, "Dude, you ever been to allinternal.com?" I was like, "No."
That was
He's
an
like,
actual
"Oh yeah,
site.
it's all internal, you know, like
What does that
yeah,
mean?
yeah, it's like they all like yeah, they just bust inside." It's like, "Oh, okay." It's like there's a segment of guys that need the girl to get pregnant, I guess, in their porn or something like that to like to get off to it. I don't know. I don't know.
There is,
Like I
don't
guess
kink
I don't
shame.
care where it
Don't
ends
you
up.
kink
I'll be
shame
honest with
him.
you. It
Don't kink shame him.
I know. You're right. You're right. Yeah.
Don't you do it.
I've always been one of those, I don't it doesn't need to be anywhere in particular. It's not my decision to make. So, um just happy to get it out of me. I just want to get it
Great,
off my chest. That's for
great.
sure. That's all.
And on to
Yeah.
someone else's.
But yeah, Cage
So
Assance.
yeah,
Yeah.
speaking of Wegmans, uh, you know, posting for a job. So,
Now
um,
our pizza, frozen pizza, I haven't tried. I'm gonna be honest.
I
We have
did
good
years ago.
non-pizza. Our pizza shop pizza is not great. No offense to the pizza shop, but it's just not good dough.
Okay.
So
I Wegmans frozen. I
sorry
definitely had back in
to
the
clarify.
day when it was a really good bang for your buck. It was like $5 a pop, or if you bought like the 3-pack of frozens, it was like $12 for a 3-pack. Great savings. Um, so no shame in that game, but I have not had it in quite some time. But pizza's not just about uh, the top quality pizza is unlikely to have the better, as good of a value as any lower tier pizza to me. Like when the price increases to such an extent because the world of pizza has such a dramatic price difference from like the bottom feeder prices to the high price, I don't feel that you get the bang for your buck. The high price people can never deliver on value. Whereas like Domino's delivers on value, man. You are you are paying a fraction of the price of a lot of pizza places. You're not getting a fraction of the taste. You're getting slightly less taste. But you know what? Respect where respect's due. That's why they work.
Somewhere, somewhere along the road, Domino's figured it out. And I'm not gonna say
Yes.
I rarely eat Domino's, but if I had to do, I consider them they're in the wheelhouse of fast food pizza for
Yeah,
sure.
they are.
But I don't know what it was. Like if I had to do a fast food pizza, I would do Domino's. I would do the Brooklyn crust with pep and feta, and it's solid for like $9. It's like it slaps. It
Yeah.
hits.
It's
It
better than mom
tastes
and
fine.
pop charging you 25
Yeah,
bucks for a large
it's
that's kind of
okay.
beat to shit.
I know.
Like, especially down here. I mean, we have some pizza places that you try and you're just like, I don't even know what this is. Like, I mean, long gone are the days of like Auburn having like 30 pizza places. So, like, you could just always keep yourself guessing, trying different stuff. Gay Tony
Yeah,
and
we got
Post.
Marks. Remember Marks?
Mark's is still there.
Mm-hmm.
Regional, not local
It is, and
Auburn,
it's
but
very
regional.
pricey. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But man, like,
They've cornered the market, but they send you out
really,
these things like 10% off your order, and then all of a sudden it's still $35 for pickup for a pizza and wings. Like,
it's.
god damn it!
I think.
And all you really
Listen,
want is
here's
pizza flavored something.
my opinion on something. My opinion on this. Don't there there shouldn't be coupons, coupons, whatever you fancy. I'm not here to judge how you say it. There should not be coupons under 20% off. Stop it. Don't give me this 10% off bullshit.
Yeah.
Stop. Just stop. It's insulting. You're not discounting shit, all right? So don't feed me any bullshit. 20% off or don't even send the coupon. What's your opinion on that? This is in anything really.
Angry.
Unless we're
Or
talking an item that's like more than like a product, if I'm looking for something that's more than like $500, then you can start sending me things like 10% off. But on food items, stop it. Just stop.
well, shouldn't be because like 10% should be for things that are normally not ever on sale. But pizza's always on sale. And it's just that they make the price higher and it just ends up being what it would have been without the like if you pay full price for pizza without the 10% coupon, you're an idiot,
Yeah, like
basically.
pizza
And I probably have done that. So
food places shouldn't have coupons for X amount off. You should have combos or daily deals that are like specific to a day of the week or something like that. But outside, don't do coupon, especially if it's like a coupon for like 2 large cheese and a 2 liter of cola for this. And it's like, full well, if I just call and ask for that, you're just going to give it to me. But the coupon always says like coupon required. No, it's not. No, it's not. I bet that you
That's
give me
just the
that deal without
price.
the coupon. Yeah, it's the price. Knock it off.
The only thing it does, those coupons really make me do is just be a fatty some days where it's like, you know what, I better get that second medium pizza for $10 just to have a little extra around the house. So it's a good idea for me. I know all I really want is just like 2 pieces to taste pizza right now, but I better get
Yeah.
like 16 slices to have laying around just in case.
That's correct, right? In
That's
this
sensible
economy,
for
it'd
only
be
ten
wrong
dollars
for me
more.
not to
You
get
know,
it. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
But
Best pizza I've ever had though, to this day, no lie. My buddy Brett, homemade pizza. He started perfecting it like 5, 6 years ago, I think. I don't even know how long it's
okay.
been, but like stone in the oven, just really good ingredients. I mean, I wish you could taste it. I wish I could put it in your mouth. That's all I got to say. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
it really is. It's like he does the layers, like sometimes like pep under the cheese, but it's just good dough, just enough oil, thin, sort of thin style, but heavy enough to support the cheese, and sauce is boss. And it's just really, it's like the perfect blend of ingredients. I would choose that pizza over anything. Plus, he makes it, and you know what? Usually watching SummerSlam or something like that, watching some kind of event, just having a day about it. Maybe it's the nostalgia of that, but it really is good. You know what? One of these days, that's a life goal, Jeff. I'm gonna put that on your bucket list to eat Brett's pizza.
Is
All right,
that all right, Brett? If you're
put
out
it in your
there
mouth.
and you're listening to episode 68 of
That's what she
Strangely
said.
Familiar, I am on a quest for your pizza. And when we inevitably
All right.
cross paths,
Gotta
I will
have it. That's
expect
awesome,
and
dude.
demand
Let's
it.
figure that out. Let's figure this out.
How to get Brett's pizza?
This
Where
can
does he live?
happen.
South
We'll
Carolina?
make it happen.
Where does he live right now? South Carolina?
North Carolina,
North
Asheville,
Carolina. Where? In what? Asheville?
Yeah, north.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's about
Mm-hmm.
it's about a 8-hour drive, probably. No, probably about a 10-hour drive for me, if I had to guess.
I bet he would do it
That
like delivery, $1,000 delivery, drive it up to you.
hold on. All right, just trying to get an idea
Doing the math
of
on it.
travel time.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna guess 7.5 hours.
dude, I said 10 hours. Philadelphia. Hold on, I'm gonna actually do Summerdale, New Jersey to
Everybody
Asheville,
at
North
home, guess.
Carolina.
I'm way under, aren't I? My geography is terrible.
9
Because it's
hours
more
and
west than I
35
think.
minutes. 9
Okay.
hours and 35 minutes. So
Yeah, if it's not there in 9 hours and 35 minutes, it's free. There
yes.
you go. Actually, 10 hours. Got to allow for cooking.
Okay. So if I took a day off from work, could I drive to Brett to get served pizza and then drive home? If I left after work on a Friday, I could get to his house for Saturday at lunch and then drive home.
Mm-hmm. Make a day of it.
Yeah, I'd have to drive overnight twice.
Yeah, speaking of major life decisions, like getting pizza.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm applying for a new gig at Wegmans, as I mentioned.
Okay.
It's called the role of, we call it employee advocate, but it's our version of HR. So now I'm going to be in the. Well, I don't know
You
that I would
guys
get it
even
per se. Like
Wegmans
most
has
people who
gone
have it have worked there for like.
Wegmans has gone so rogue that you guys renamed
I can't wait for you to
HR.
hear this. Well, yes, because we're not the man. We're not there to just enforce policies. We're there to listen to our people, man. That's my interview. That's going to be my pitch.
Okay.
Um, but I don't know. I gotta do something else. I'm feeling it. And I don't know if I'll get it, but it's moderately exciting to me. Some of the stuff could get involved in. I like the people stuff part of work, all the crazy shit that could go down. Whether you can help people out with something or you have to hear about crazy shit that happens. That sounds exciting to me versus making subs or something like that, or cleaning up spills, um, or just making sure an oven is off, that kind of stuff. Dealing with customers. So we'll see. I don't know. Yeah, like I said, like most people who have that gig have had it for worked at Wegmans for a long time, like 15, 20 years, I think. So I'm going to be an outsider looking in. But what it does, because I always said the best time to look for a job is when you have a job. So now I've got that job application inertia kicking in. Got that resume updated, writing. I'm gonna have to do like a presentation or a portfolio thing,
Hmm.
kind of deal. So once you start kicking that into gear, it's hard because it's hard to get started on that. That's why everybody just sticks in their same job for most of the time because you don't want to go through that process again of like applying, searching, getting rejected. But if you have a job and all of a sudden you're updating this stuff again, you're like, what else is out there? So that might be where I'm at right now. It's just kind of getting that going and just wanting to explore a little bit. And when you do that and you look at your resume, it's really weird to be like, oh, that's cool. 7 years of my life is 8 lines on a piece of paper. And that's it. And it felt so important then. And now it's like somebody may or may not read it or like really care about it. I mean, I know it matters in the long scope of things and as who you are as a person and who you've become. But doesn't, I mean, really, I feel like a lot of jobs are like, well, what have you done lately? What have you done for me lately? It's very bizarre to consider your life and your place and everything you've done on a piece of paper.
Well, yes and no, because no, because jobs are whatever. Like the problem is we hold jobs on this magical pedestal as if like it's the defining thing about you. And that's the problem is it's not, it's just a job. And that's why just a job gets just a resume. So the reality is that places never want to admit that they oftentimes are hiring a bad person for the job. And companies will double down on it. They'll be like, instead of being like, you know what, this wasn't a good job fit, they'll go, you know what, you're terrible at this job. We should have never hired you, but we're going to keep stringing this along because it would look worse for us to not let you keep doing
Yeah.
this job. So we're hoping you'll
Yeah.
turn it around. And in the interim, we'll just let everything crumble around you that you touch. But hey, maybe it'll work itself out and you'll quit or something neat like that. But like places will never, they'll hire, they'll realize they hired the wrong person and be like, I guess that's just what's going to happen. Or I've seen plenty of companies promote bad people out. They're so desperate to get rid of the person in their current job that they'll actually push them upwards, which is a phenomenal thing about corporations. So, yeah, man, I'm always on the lookout for my next job, whether it's internal or external. I have always had a desire to just keep things moving because I get bored with stuff real easily. Um, but also just because it's like, yeah, I want to make more money. Yeah, I want to do something different. And I don't know, I just don't hold anything work wise sacred. Bag that. There's no need.
Yeah, it is funny how it's like, you know what? It really just costs too much to find somebody new. We really hope it works out for you. Um, but it's fun. Like, I honestly, like, when I look at my resume, I'm like, there's things I've done that I think I would have forgotten about, even though I did it for many years if I didn't have it on my resume. It kind of like sparks my memory a little bit. And I'm like, oh, that is what I did. Like, oh, I did do that as a job for several years. I forgot. I can almost picture where it was. Maybe that's just an old thing. I bet a lot of old timers like us forget about our early days. Um,
Yeah.
but it's yeah. I don't know. I'm excited. I've poked around the Indeeds, see what's around. It's fun. It's like shop. I mean, it does have a feeling to me of almost like shopping for something. Just looking, window shopping for a different life. Just getting excited about it, kind
I
of.
really wasn't in the market for a new job, but I mean, might as well see if there's
Yeah,
something that fits
yeah.
me. It is. It's a lot cockier attitude than when
Yeah,
you
just
lose a
upgrade to
job
the new
and have to
iPhone of
find
jobs.
one. Like when you have a
Hmm.
job and you're window shopping,
That's
you're just
tough.
like you almost get cockier and like are willing to post and like apply for things way out of
Yeah,
your league because you're like, I mean, might as well, right? Time isn't a factor. Like I could probably do this. Like you get job muscles and you get really excited about it. Whereas when you're looking for a job, if you don't have a job, you're like, I am not worth anything. I have no value. My resume has proved it. I'm just gonna wash windows at red lights or something like that. Like you lose a lot of confidence. And it's funny you say Indeed because I literally read earlier, either earlier today or yesterday, that Indeed themselves laid off 8% of their workforce, about 1,000
is
people.
laying
So
off people. Yeah,
yeah, so Indeed, ironically, could really use Indeed to find people. So I wonder if Indeed posts their
I
jobs on
actually
like
one of my
Monster.
best friends. They oh, funny. I know their employees could get a big referral bonus at Indeed because my buddy Chris was working there. And right before COVID, I was applying. I had an interview and then I had a video interview with them. And then they stopped. They had a hiring freeze and I never got a call back. Could have been me, but I thought I had a chance because I had a good referral from a buddy who was doing really well there. And he still works there. I don't think, I mean, I'll have to check with him. I don't think he's one of the people that would have got laid off. I sure hope not. I should check with him. Um, but it was like work from home gigs and that's like the dream, right? So that's what I look for now when I go on there. It's like, but you need like certain tech experience, and I'm like, well, I do have a PC and I did take course one in Google information technology online. I have a certificate. Does that help? I don't exactly have 4 years of programming, but like you're saying, it's like those job muscles. I'll toss my hat in the ring. I'm gainfully
Mm-hmm.
employed right now. Why not? I'll fall into something just the way we always do. Have
Yeah,
you
it's
ever? Uh, I was thinking about this. Have you ever stolen from work
ooh, yeah, yeah, um,
items,
yeah. Long
money,
time ago.
cash?
Long time ago. I won't get into
Wait, what?
details, but yeah, I won't get into details, but there's some
Oh
shame in that
shit!
game. Yeah.
Oh fuck! Let's
So
go.
no, nope. Um, but it's a long time ago, something I'm not proud of. And I look back and I can't believe that I actually did it. Um, but it happened. I made a poor choice, suffered the consequences, moved on. That's about all I can say.
Oh, you did.
Hmm?
You
Hmm?
suffered consequences.
Hmm?
You suffered consequences.
Yeah, that's correct.
Well, we've already gone over like, have you ever been arrested before? Stuff.
Yeah.
We went over that, and you didn't,
Hmm.
right? To my
Yeah,
knowledge,
correct. No, I lost the job.
or
Eh, Yeah, I lost the job, and
oh yeah, okay, yeah,
that
yeah.
no, nothing legal proceedings or anything. But yeah,
Oh,
it's a bad thing. Um, like obviously, I wish I hadn't done such things. I'm not proud of it. Uh, but it's taken stuff like that sits with me. Decisions I lament over a lot of things of like, why'd you do that? Like, there's a lot of things I do in life that I'm like, I I beat myself up over probably I don't know. It's a guy's judgment call and opinion on whether or not people beat themselves up over the right things. But I don't. I let go of. I try to let go of things because at some point you have to stop. I don't know. Like at some point you have to forgive yourself, meaning like move on from it and be like, all right, it's done. It's in the past. Don't do it again. You learned from it. But yeah. How about you? Have you done anything wrong at
I
work?
mean, you're not that guy. You wouldn't do it. Yeah. Um, I mean, I feel like everybody steals from work in some way or another at some point in their lives. I mean, it goes back to like offices are easy spots to take from work. Little supplies, little trinkets, things like that. Things that you could use at home that you don't maybe think you could use at home. Yeah, I need a ream of paper. I don't mind. Yeah, just take this. I could use
Why
a
do you
swing line
need a ream
stapler,
of paper
but
at
probably
home?
I need a couple sheets, and I don't want it to yeah. I don't want
I
it to
don't want to look
get
weird.
folded in my book bag. Um, and probably the most, I I guess I don't know if it's stealing per se. I mean, we all steal time if you're gonna go that route, but that's kind of bullshit. But when I worked in DC, when I worked on the program where I would travel like a couple weeks a month to different universities, I had like a corporate credit card, and I used to have to file like expense reports when I came back. But I definitely wouldn't include the itemized ones. Like if I had meals, so I would ring up. Like I had per diems, and per diems for federal government stuff were ridiculous. Like some spots I would go to, like Atlanta, it's like okay, you get $140 per day for food, and I'd be like, shit, I'm gonna eat like
What
one
am I
meal. I'm just
doing
gonna
with
go to
this?
like I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna get a cheeseburger and 12 drinks, basically. Just do it like that because you weren't supposed to like put booze on there. But I would just turn in like a receipt. And one time I met up with like my girlfriend Amanda at the time in like Arizona because it's when she was at UT and I had to go to Arizona for a thing. So I just flew out and met her there and paid for the hotel room with a card. And we just had like a little mini vacation, like went out to eat and stuff like that. Paid for it. It was basically a State Department funded program. So it was all like taxpayer money going towards it. So, hey, that's not my fault. I didn't know any better. Listen, our taxes are going to way worse stuff than than my than my booze and hotel. I got to say that. I mean, look at me. I'm so happy right now because of it. So happy. I've always been happy. Um, but probably hundreds to thousands of dollars I spent on this program of stuff that I probably technically shouldn't have, maybe,
Wow.
but in the long run, that's just pork. It's just government pork. Everybody's trying to get theirs. I was getting mine. And you know what? Maybe along the way, I helped somebody, helped a person or two,
You're
in
like
my actual
maybe,
job.
maybe
So
I did.
I could have changed somebody's
You're
life
like,
and it was all worth it. Yeah.
you're like impossible to
Yeah.
tell, impossible to tell. But there's a chance. I'll tell you, there's a
Hmm.
solid, reasonable chance.
Hmm.
Um, so like
Yeah.
with so I just got back from my first work trip with work, and I will
Yes.
say I forgot about the idea that
Austin, Texas.
yes, I did actually go to Austin, Texas. I was in Austin, Texas for about 40 hours. Um, I forgot the idea that with a company card I need to save receipts, so I actually have to do that expense report tomorrow, and I forgot I got breakfast in the airport on the way out of town, and then um I got lunch at my layover, and I forgot that I needed receipts, but at the same time I wasn't prompted for receipts because it was a self checkout at breakfast and I didn't get a receipt. And then the second one was also like a to go thing, and the thing just didn't print me a receipt, and I forgot to ask about one when they actually gave me my food. So I'm without 2 receipts. I don't know how that's gonna go because again, it was charged to the company card. So I'm just gonna like submit on those and be like, hey, here's what happened. Your move. Hopefully they'll just show pity and be like, well, both purchases came from an airport, which is good. So it's like, all right, clearly,
Mm-hmm.
this was food based on time frames and stuff like that. So we'll see. But um yeah, it's interesting because like so for this they were like, all right, you just go on this website internally, book your flight, book your hotel, book your rental car, and I'm like, all right, and like no one guided me around the way, so like they're just like it'll tell you what you can and cannot book. And so for booking the flights, it basically lets you book the cheapest flight and then anything within like $100 more of that. So I found out the hard way. There's no direct flights from Philly to Austin, so I had to go through Atlanta. But after much debate, I'm glad I went with Delta. It's a very comfortable
That's
ride,
wild.
and Delta had like TVs in the seats, and I treated myself over the course of 4 flights, two down and two back. I treated myself to a season 10 of Curb Your Enthusiasm, so that was nice. Um, but the hotel, it was like, do you want two queens? And I'm like, well, no, at home I have a king bed. So I'm like, if it lets me get a king, I'm going to get a king. And so I booked a king and they put me
Yeah.
in a king with a whirlpool tub. And I'm like, did I book this? But there's like a whirlpool tub in the room, not in the
Oh
bathroom,
shit!
in like the room. But the best part is I'm like, why does this exist?
Like a sexy
There's
whirlpool?
a
Yeah.
yeah, but so like if I got up in the middle of the night, I could get up, walk about 5 steps, and go sit in the tub in the bedroom, and then there was a standing shower in the bathroom. But I'm like, when I checked in, the person's like, "Okay, you have the king with the whirlpool tub. Ooh, that's nice." And I'm like, I guess I was tempted to use it just to use it. I should have taken like a picture and like used it on our, on the podcast, but I did not use the whirlpool tub. And then my my issues, I ran into a little bit of travel issues because people let Jeff book this himself. So we'll go into that. Is so the night before I had to leave, I look at my um, I entered in my known traveler number. As we know, I got TSA pre-check now because I'm an adult. So I entered my known traveler number
Not a
on
big
my
deal.
ticket, and it wouldn't come up. It didn't come up as TSA pre-check. So I'm wondering. I look at my ticket, and the ticket defaulted to what Progressive has me in their system as, which is Jeff Warden. Now, my TSA is for Jeffrey A. Warden. So it wouldn't show it on my ticket
Mm.
because it didn't match. So I
Totally
call up
different.
Delta. So I message Delta using their message system, and I'm like, hey, I just need this change. They're like, absolutely, I can do that. That's no problem. 60 seconds goes by. They're like, it doesn't seem I can help you. I'm so sorry. You have to go through your work since the type of ticket that was booked. Okay. So I'm like, oh, maybe that person couldn't help me. So I called Delta the next morning because I couldn't figure out a way to do it on my work. I signed on to my laptop in the morning, but then I had to get to the airport. So on the way to the airport, or excuse me, no, before going to the airport, I called Delta. They're like, absolutely, I can change that. Not a problem. They pull it up. I'm like, oh, good. They're like, I can't change that. They're like, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. I'm like, all right. So on my way to the airport, I call the 800 number to our travel company through work at the bottom of like my itinerary, the fine print that says like in the event of a travel emergency, contact this number. So I contact it. A very upset person answered the phone, and I'm like, here's my situation. I need this change. All right. I don't know. I don't think I can do that. And then just 5 minutes of like slight clicking of the keys in the background, just murmurs. And all of a sudden it's all right, it's changed. They're like, you need to change your profile so that this doesn't happen again. Like this person scolded me, like straight up scolded me. I'm like, all right, I'll
Yeah.
take that under consideration. So
They're over their job.
I get to the airport about 3 minutes after that phone call ends. Caitlin drops me off. She leaves. I try pulling up my app to check in now. What I had been using and checked in earlier to get my boarding pass, but they had to undo it. And they told me they're like, yeah, we have to uncheck you in so that we can change the ticket. I go, okay. So I go to check in. It won't let me check in on the app anymore. It gives me an error. So I go to the kiosk in the airport, print boarding pass, error. I'm like, my boarding is in like 50 minutes. I'm like, so now I don't even have a ticket, let alone TSA pre-check. I can't even get to my boarding pass. So it's like, see a Delta agent. Delta agent, nowhere to be found. There's 2 agents working and they're both doing bags. And there's like 20 people in line for baggage check. So I'm like, I got to get in this line. It's the only way I can do it. Many times I was thinking, I'm like, is this one of these situations where I can ask people, everyone in line, like, hey, can I get ahead?
Yeah.
I just need to change my ticket.
I have the important flight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm not going to do that. We're going to play it by ear. So I finally get up to the front line. Lady's like, yeah, I can do it. She actually can do it. The first Delta person that tells me they can help me, but then actually can help me. I get my boarding pass with TSA pre-check about 20 minutes before boarding. Get through pre-check, get to the gate, everything there. Fast forward, I get to Austin and I'm there to rent my rental car. My boss is like, hey, rent through National. That way you can skip the line. And I go, okay. And I'm like, she's like, do you have a National Emerald Club membership? And I go, no. But I go, it's telling me online that I can just plug in my Enterprise frequent traveler number. So I go, I'll just do that. So I do it. It links. Great. So I get to the rental location. I go up to the garage and I'm like, I don't know if I have to go to like the front desk, like to check in, because I don't have an Emerald Club number, but I did put in my Enterprise number. So I go, well, let me ask this person. So I go up to the garage and I'm like, hey, I don't know what I need to do. I don't know if I need to go to you guys or go to the front desk to actually physically check in. She goes, well, do you have an Emerald Cloud number? I go, no, but I entered in my Enterprise one. She goes, okay, let me check the system, see if you're in there. She goes, she comes back. She goes, yeah, you're in there. You're good. I go, okay. And then she's like, just go take a car. I go, which one? She's like, anything down this aisle. And I'm like, this is awkward. So all that's left is SUVs and large trucks. So I go to the largest SUV I can find. I get a Jeep Wagoneer, sits 8 people very comfortably for me. And I get in it and I go to exit. Cars pull up right
Oh,
behind
hell
me.
yeah.
Person who exits like, all right, you got your stuff? And they're like, you don't have an Emerald card number. Why did you come here and not the front desk? And I'm like, haha. I'm like, because I didn't know. And I asked someone and then they told me to just get in the car. So then I'm backing up people. I have to sign up for like, do all this paperwork,
Oh my
give her
God.
like my, oh, so awkward. But yeah, so traveling was interesting. But nothing better than getting a rental car for absolutely no reason other than it's comically large and you're the only person traveling, because it's not on your bill. Like that's absolutely. I'm like, oh, just okay. I'm like, well, they're gonna pay for gas and everything. I'm like, I'm probably gonna spend, you know, this bad boy probably gets 10 miles a gallon, but let me drive this moose. But
I know.
funny thing, funny thing, I went to dinner with some people on the second night and they tried calling an Uber and the Uber didn't come. And they're like, Jeff, are you going to come out? I'm like, I can come out. And they're like, well, we're trying to get an Uber. And I'm like, gang, how many people we got here? Boom, boom, boom. 7 other people looking for a ride to the bar. So good news, folks. I have an 8-person
Shut
car.
up.
So we literally
Let's
shuffled
go.
everyone into the Wagoneer to go to the bar. We went from the Mexican spot we hit was on Lamar Boulevard, and it was
Mm-hmm.
Saison Mexican restaurant. And then
Mm-hmm.
we went to a place called Boomers.
Like
After
SAZON.
Sazon for Saison. Had
Mm-hmm.
the Chile.
Boomers, I don't know.
Yeah, Boomers was on the Parkway,
Chili
I
Relleno.
think. Chile Relleno. Yeah, it was delightful. It was a poblano pepper with like
Chili
chorizo in it.
Relleno. It's like a
Yeah, that.
stuffed chili pepper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Classic.
Yeah,
Good shit.
yeah. My
Did you get
Austin
any
experience was
BBQ
very
while you were
brief,
there?
but it was fun.
I realized I fucked up. I remember you were there, and I was gonna text you that day to tell you some shit to go. I was like, I should have like sent you the address to the book and whatever music store that I worked at, so you could have checked it out.
Mm,
But I didn't. Oh
you
well,
didn't.
another
No.
bucket list thing.
Go back to Austin to see where Matt
Um,
worked.
well,
Okay. That
I think it's
seems
time.
reasonable. Is it time?
Uh, should we? Is it time to decide
I think it is.
on the Cage Assance?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we basically are at Prisoners of the Ghostland and
Mm-hmm.
Jujitsu, right?
That's correct. What are your thoughts? Like, what is deep down inside?
I mean,
What's
do we need?
is? Are you saying like, listen, I love a good, analyzation or analysis rather of this whole process, and I respect the process, but deep down inside, I know what the right answer is. Do you have that?
Analyzation, yeah. Uh, I I think for me, I think Prisoners of the Ghostland with the exploding leather suit is probably the go-to, and the only reason is because I can't tell if Jujitsu if he's in it the whole time or not, or if it would be like he's like one of those like Obi-Wan Kenobi characters, like in Star Wars, where he's only in it part of the time, and it'll probably hit. He'll probably steal all the scenes, but I couldn't tell from the vibe if it was really him as the star. It didn't necessarily seem like he was the star of it.
Yeah, it's funny
Um,
that you do say
but
that
I'm also
because
down to watch them both.
there there was I did put this on my own personal Facebook page, not a lot of activity on it. Three emotions like reactions to it. Um One person put, "Oh man, both look good." The second one seems like it would have more of him specifically. So actually the first comment was just that Prisoners of Ghostland would have just
Okay.
volume of Cage would be in our best interest. Um, there was a mention of, I feel like I'm going to need to watch both, or maybe I'll just throw some money at you, care of the pod, and take the whole damn thing over and just review all of Pauly Shore's greatest hits. So there was someone who's looking to go rogue
Ooh,
with the producer role. Um,
somebody wants to
there,
take over for Pauly Shore.
there
Wants to
was a,
pay?
there
We would
was,
do a Pauly Shore episode for money.
yeah, absolutely, folks. We'll do anything for money. Remember, um, there
You
was
can
another
buy
vote
our time.
for
Yeah.
Prisoners of Ghostland. Um, my mother also um, said Prisoners of Ghostland, hands down.
Mm-hmm. And her vote counts
Um,
twice.
yep. And there was a
Mm-hmm.
vote for Face Off. That person's been disqualified. Um, and lastly,
Yeah.
there
I mean,
was
we
a
could
good
talk face off any day.
analysis by our friend John, who we got to see at our the gathering after our last episode. John put,
Okay.
so it's Alien vs Predator / Mortal Kombat mashup or Taken 6 with Colonel Sanders. I vote for the latter. And I said that's a good analysis of those two movies. I'm like that is by
Oh,
trailer
wow.
alone, that is a good reference to both of those. And I'm like, Taken 6 with Colonel Sanders. Now, I think it is. I think Prisoners of Ghostland is gonna take it for the reasons you mentioned. Um, but it's completely insane too. So there's just gonna be so much to break down. I'm literally looking forward to watching this movie with a pad and pen. Like I don't like writing. And normally I would
Yeah.
go, I'm gonna have my laptop to take notes, but I feel like I need to have a pad and like pen to properly take the notes on this adventure.
Yeah. What we'll have to do is because I was trying to think of like, should we have categories of things? But I think the categories will speak to us as we watch it. I think, yeah, as you take notes during it, it'll be like, I got to bring this scene up, this scene up. I think there's a world where maybe we share some clips too. Like maybe I'll get the movie. and we'll show some scenes. I'll see what the legalities are. It's probably much like music. Probably just got to keep it short. But if there's some scenes that are worth showing that we need to, um, I see no reason to not show them. So that's it. Prisoners of the Ghostland, fam.
Wow.
Watch it. You've got 1 week,
I do want to let you know too.
and we'll discuss. Send us your thoughts. Mm-hmm.
Only since we talked about
What is it
someone
on, by
looking
the
to
way?
pay to, what like format is it on?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
Prisoners of Ghostland. I had that previously. I think
AMC Plus. Oh
AMC
no.
AMC Plus. Good to know.
Oh, Prime.
Hold on, let me see. No, AMC Plus through
Oh, you
Prime,
can
but
start
Prime you
a
can rent it for
AMC Plus
$7.
with Prime. Yeah, start your 7 day
Yeah, you
trial.
can do it. Yeah, you can do a
Yeah,
7-day trial.
or $3.99
Google
right now. It shows
$3.99.
mine is slashed out to $3.99. Maybe I have a promotional credit.
Wow. It
Good
is
for me.
available on YouTube for $3.99. It seems as well. So
All right.
looks
Well,
looks like it's
so
about
this
four
is a
bucks,
commitment,
folks. But
but it's
you
worth it.
know, it is. It's worth it. Let's be honest. How often
Yeah.
do you actually go and make the effort to pay for movies these days? Get yourself a producer.
Yeah.
That helps. So um, we have producers now on deck.
I, yeah. I kind of like renting. Like, I had a friend a couple months ago. Was like, "Hey, you need to watch this movie. It's on Netflix." And I was like, "Oh, I don't have Netflix right now. I'm on a Netflix hiatus." And I just rented it for $3.99. And it is something fun about renting a movie for like $3.99. It's just about the idea that just because then it makes I feel more invested in it versus a streamer where it's like, I'll fall asleep during it. I don't care. Where it's like you pay, it's got the nostalgia of the rental, making it an event, something that feels fun, like you're being intentional about your life decision and you're investing your time in it. So $3.99, rent it, folks. Let's join this journey with us. It'll be worth it. You know what?
Um,
We're all in it together. Let's make Nicolas Cage a little more money, okay?
it's true. He's due. Yeah. The way of the rental is we were always content with it, but I like that they go, okay, you can rent the movie and you have it for 30 days. However, you have 30 days
To
as long
start
as you
it.
don't
Yeah.
start the movie. Then once you start it, I believe Amazon is like 48 hours after you start it. So that's a weird dynamic because you're like, do I
Yeah.
like you rent a movie for that night, but you're like, well, I'm not going to start it until everyone's ready, sitting down because I only got 48 hours. Like, I don't know why, but it's like it terrifies you to no end to be like, is today the right day to watch this? Should I be watching it? Because there's no turning back. I hope I have 48 hours
Mhm.
to watch this hour and 40-minute movie. It's kind of scary. That was like going to Blockbuster, man. Cheat code, like life
Just use
hack.
the AMC Plus trial.
The life hack with
What?
Blockbuster used to be Auburn Blockbuster on Friday and Saturday was open till 1 a.m. So what you do is you go in at midnight, rent the movie, and it's not due back until like if you
Bonus
rented it
day.
Friday night into Saturday morning and you rented at 12:05, then it's not back until like Sunday at noon if it's a 1-day rental. That's a
Mm-hmm.
hack.
That is a good hack.
Yeah.
God, the 1 day rental. What a life.
Yeah, man. Back
Man,
by
really
noon the
wanted to
next
watch it.
day.
Got to get that tape back. Just a wall. Just a wall of Con Air. Let's use that as an example. Just two full shelves.
So much
Checking
Cyrus the
tapes, checking
Virus.
behind tapes. Is it there? Is it there?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Well,
Hey man, can you check
so
the
there it is. This is
Dropbox?
very exciting. We've been working up to this for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
um,
excited.
Ep 69. It's going to be a tying a world record for me for most podcasts ever produced. Um, Starring Nicolas Cage. So,
Oops.
cool. I say we end it early just because I have a big night ahead of me. When this episode comes out, the Bruins probably have been eliminated from the Stanley Cup playoffs, but not yet. They're technically still alive. Let's go, bees. Let's go.
That
I
last
know
game
our
was
players are injured
brutal.
and the refs are dicking us over.
Oh my God, people getting punched
That
in the
was
face with no
hard to
calls. People
watch.
getting shoved
They've
into
all been hard to
goalies with
watch.
no calls. Oh my gosh, Marchand's dead.
Yeah, no calls.
Oh my God, it's just no calls left and right.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for advocating for me on behalf of my fandom. I appreciate it.
Sure.
But that'll do. Prisoners of the Ghostland, fam. Be ready for it.
Yep.
All right.
Get excited.
It's exciting. I can't wait to watch this. It's gonna be so good, so terrible.
I'm
And if
jazzed.
you haven't, well, I guess you wouldn't. We'll say it at the beginning of the episode. If you haven't watched it, yeah, go watch it. But it's this is where we're gonna blow up, Jeff.
This is
Pod's
it.
gonna blow up after this. Nicolas Cage is gonna retweet it, or all the Cage fans are. It's big. This is our before. This is our BC before Cage
I think so.
podcast. Yeah, yeah. So this is it.
That works.
It's gonna start rolling in.
Man.
Get used to
End of
this.
an era
Get
and the
used to
beginning of a
the
new.
dog days of podcasting because they're just yeah. Job change ahead. full time Cage podcast. Here we go.
Rocket strapping
All right,
into a
be
new
well,
stratosphere.
fam.
Later.
Rocket strap on. Let's go. And